Alright, so first I'm going to create server folder. And now I'm going to open up my terminal. And here I'm going to initialize my project. So for that I'm going to say npm init. In package.json I'm going to say that type is going to be module. Now I'm going to create index.js. And here I'm going to connect to database. And to do that I'm going to use Express and Mongoose. These are all dependencies that I'm going to use in that project. Now I'm going to import these all dependencies. Now I'm going to create a variable app. This will be equals express. And also I'm going to create a port for my server. And now I'm going to connect to my database. And now to connect to our database, I'm going to use try catch block. And now I'm going to create a variable connect. And the first parameter is going to be our connection URL. And the second is going to be default parameter. And if we're connected to our database, I'm going to console this. And I'm going to show my host. If there's any errors, I'm going to cancel this error. And now we can call this function. And here, this is all what I'm going to use in this project. And now we can export our app. And also, we're going to listen our app. And the second is going to be our function. And now as you can see in console that server has started and we connected to our database. And now we can create our routes. So to do that, I'm going to create folder routes. And here I'm going to create user router and branch router. And now we can import that. Here we're going to import Express. And now we can create our router. And to do that, we're going to create a variable router. And this is going to be equals express.router. Now we can export our router so that we could fix our error. And now we can use our router. So to do that, I'm going to say app.use, and the first parameter is going to be our port and the second our user router. So now we can create a router, and the first router is going to be get, and the first parameter is going to be our path, so it's going to be just slash, and the second is going to be our function, which is get me. And now I'm going to import get me from user controller, but first I'm going to create user controller.js. And here I'm going to create this function. By typing, and now I can send a message by typing response.json. And now we can go and get our response. And now as you can see, we're getting our message. So now I'm going to create user module. So to do that, I'm going to create a folder which is going to be module. For name, email, and password is going to be required, and also email is going to be unique. And here I'm going to import user module. So now to create our user, we can create a post request. So to do that, I'm going to type so the first parameter is going to be register, and the second our function, which is register. In user controller, I'm going to create a register function, and from request body I'm going to get name, email, and password. And then I'm going to check if and then I'm going to check if user email already exists, and to do that I'm going to get user from this email. And now we can hash our password. So to do that I'm going to use bcrypt. So to hash our password, the first parameter is going to be our password, and the second salt. And now we can create our new user. And right here I'm going to put all my variables right here. And now we can save our user in our database. And now if the user is saved, I'm going to send a message that the user was added. And after we created our user, I'm going to generate token for my user. So I'm going to create a function which is generate token. And also I'm going to import JWT from JSON Web Token. And to create JSON Web Token, I'm going to use JWT.sign. And the first parameter is going to be our ID, and the second our private key. And the third parameter gets when this token expires. And after we created our user, I'm going to create token. And now we can make our post request. And now we can send our post request. And as you can see, we have a message that a new user was added, and also we have a token. And now to make our requests protect, we're going to create auth middleware. So first I'm going to import user and JSON Web Token. And now I'm going to create function middleware to protect our requests. This function is going to get request, response, and next. Now I'm going to create a variable token. And now I'm going to check if requests headers authorization is true. And also I'm going to check if it starts with barrier. And in try block, I'm going to get from request our token. And now I'm going to verify my token. So to do that, I'm going to create a variable decoded. And I'm going to use JWT verify. The first parameter is going to be our token. And the second, our secret value. which is I set right here. And right here I'm going to find a user with an ID, and to get this ID I'm going to say decoded.id. And after we did this, I'm going to call function next. And in catch error, I'm going to cancel this error. Right, so now I'm going to create a login function. And right here, I'm going to get email and password for my request body. Now I'm going to get user by email. Now I'm going to check if user is not null and compare my password. And here I'm going to await bcrypt compare. If it's true, I'm going to send a message and create a new token. And right here I'm going to show my user. And then to create a new token. And now I'm going to create a new router to login my user. Right now I'm going to create setFavorites function for my user. Now I'm going to create a module brand for my user. And right here I'm going to import Mongoose and create a variable brand schema to register a new brand. So there will be three parameters: image, title and text. And right here type will be string, and this will be required. And the second object will be timestamps, which will be equals true. And now I'm going to create a variable post message, and then I export that variable for creating a new brand. And now I'm going to import a brand module to user controller. And if user true, I'm going to change user.favorites to true. And then I'm going to send a response with the ID of user. And right here I'm going to create a new router for my favorites. The first parameter I'll say favorites, and then I'm going to get ID, and then I'm going to get ID. And also I'm going to create a function to get favorites. And then I'm just going to send a response. Yeah, I also forgot to say users. Now, as you can see, our ID is true. Right now I'm going to create a function get all for my branch route, and this is going to be a get request. So first parameter is going to be just slash, and the second our function get all. Now I'm going to create a file brand controller. And here I'm going to import JWT and bcrypt. Now I'm going to create a function get all. And right here I'm going to import get all from my brand controller. Right, then I'm going to create a new brand. So for that I'm going to create a function create brand. And from request body, I'm going to get image, title, and text. And now I'm going to create a new brand. So for that, I'm going to create a variable brand. It will be equals await new brand. And this will be getting all these variables from request body. And then I'm going to save this brand. And if it's true, I'm going to send JSON with a new brand. And right here, I'm going to create a router post for my function create brand. And this will be /create.